Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have something that was a French exclusive, or France exclusive, Glenfarclas. And we have here our private reserve, 45% ABV. So Whiskybase number 188906. This was bottled on the 28th of April, 2021. We have 9,990 bottles. And this is made for the importer in France, Mähler-Besse from Bordeaux. All right, so 2019 he had one, 2021 he has this one, and 2022 in April, they received a second batch of 9,999 bottles at 46% to celebrate the 46th anniversary of the importer in France. Now, the only thing I'm going to complain about is the following. So, I just opened this up literally 20 minutes ago for my German video, and the glue and the wood topper has separated, which is a shame. Now, the whiskey itself is just fine. The cork isn't the problem. Now, this has happened to me 4 times this year alone. It might have been that we had a very hot and humid summer over here in Germany. That might have affected the glue or something like that. I don't know. I bought this directly from the wholesaler here in Germany. And yeah, I bought it from the German wholesaler, even though it's a French or France exclusive. Why? Well, I think there's basically 2 reasons. So we can see here on the back, I think Glenfarclas always has such a big label and often nothing on it in the back, which I think is very, very funny. And here we have the 45%. This does say natural color. Thank you very much. It would be great if it would have said non-chilled filter as well, which it doesn't. All right, so the back of the box, everything's here in French, so we know what the market is. So John S. Grant actually signed this one. Now, I'm going to compare this to a different bottle. The price over here in Germany is around 50 euros. I found 55 euros. I found 42 euros, which is a big, big difference if you ask me. And I'm going to compare it to the Glenfarclas 15. Why? Because I can still get this for 49.99, so 50 euros. The price in France was 50 euros. The price in Germany is 50 euros. Why? Why in all the world would I buy something as a no age statement with 1% less alcohol compared to an age statement with more alcohol? So now my question of the day is, and maybe you can help me answer this question, what other bottlings do you know from Glenfarclas that are not part of the core range? I have seen core range bottles of Glenfarclas 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 25, 30, and 40. So those are the bottles that I have seen that are part of the core range. Now, many of you are going to shout, Jason, it's very easy. Family casks. Well, maybe. But over here in Germany, for example, or Europe, we always get a Christmas bottling from Glenfarclas. I absolutely destroyed the 2021 bottling last year. I disliked it. It was a sulfur bomb and absolutely not my cup of tea. We get some exclusive bottlings over here in Germany as well, just for our importer, which is as well. And they have in France also exclusive bottlings, the private reserve. So 45%, 46%. 50 euros, 50 euros. 15 years of age, a no age statement. Now, it does say natural color on it, which I think is very, very great. Does this even say natural color on it? No. Isn't that cool? So, oh, we have all the different importers now on the back here is what I'm seeing. All right, very, very good. Instead of having just one for Germany, they would actually do every single importer. So this is what the back of this one looks like. I haven't really, really looked at that. So every single country where there's a individual importer gets their nice little logo there. So that's kind of unique, to be honest. All right, why not? The spirit of independence. So still family owned and family run. Good job. So Now, if I go over here to the Whiskybase 188906, I will see that it's basically given points between 86 and 84, which is a good solid mark, to be honest. On the nose, I get a very, very light moment. I get some nuttiness, a little bit of hazelnut. I get a little bit more of a cinnamon moment, and I get a little bit of a citrus moment. If I go over to the 15-year-old, I'm getting a lot more of a darker, richer, oloroso sherry moment. A little bit more of that herbalness, herbaceous moment there. I prefer on the nose the 15-year-old. All right, so if I try this, the 45%. Vanilla, spice, a little bit of a light dry fruit, apples, pears, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of orange, a little bit of nut, of that nut moment, a little bit of gingerbread even. It's got some sweetness, it's got some grain. This is actually not a bad whiskey. Towards the end, there's a little bit of an old cask bitterness that I get. Now, there's one way I know of how to solve that, and you're going to laugh, but it's actually to get rid of some of the alcohol. So I dilute the 45% down to 43, 42%. And I try again. I get a little bit more of that honey moment, a little bit more of the cereals. I get a tiny little bit of sweet oak. What I don't get is bitter oak anymore. I thoroughly enjoy this whiskey, diluted down 42, 43%. Now I can actually try this and drink 2 or 3 drams, and by the 4th dram, I don't notice that wood bitterness anymore. Is that the way I want to solve the problem? Me, no. I like to play around with a little bit of water with my whiskey and then experiment and find out that sweet spot where I prefer this bottle. Why did they fill this up with 45%? Well, if this year is 46th anniversary, this actually is the 45th anniversary. I don't know if that's going to actually go up every year, that they're going to do 47, 48, 49, 50%. Would be a kind of cool gag, wouldn't it? I think there was one bottling. It was Macallan, wasn't it? That they actually did 43.1, 43.2, 43, whatever it was, all the way up to 0.6. And they actually, that was how they identified, with, of course, the color of the boxes there, the different Macallans that they had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know any other ones that have actually done that over the years, that they've actually changed the ABV because of the age or because of the year that they're doing that. This is a very good, adequate whiskey. Without the water, it's more of a C. With the water, it's a C+. If you're going to pay 50 euros for this, this is definitely a C- whiskey. If you can get it on sale, 20% off at the moment, one online shop in Germany, you're going to pay 42 euros for this. That would actually be a solid C for the value for money. Is it overly complex? No. Is this an easy sipping whiskey? Yes. Should we be paying 40 some euros for an easy sipping, or should we be paying 20 something? That's the decision you have to make. I thoroughly enjoy Glenfarclas. I enjoy the company of George Grant. He's a great guy. His dad here, John S. Grant, I've never met, but even they're doing good things. All these casks were actually picked out here by the one and only, the distiller, managing director is his name, and his name is here. I know him. It was here, Graham. Callum Fraser. Wow, Jason. Sorry, I met him. I met him 3 times already. So all these casks were specially selected by distillery manager Callum Fraser. He's also someone who's been in industry for decades. A good guy who really understands what he's doing there. And I think this is great. Would I have preferred to have an age statement? Yes. Do I need to have an age statement? No. Did I still buy the bottle? Apparently, yes. There are not that many Glenfarclas not in the round tube with the standard here that's not a family cask and costs hundreds of euros. So I thought it was worth a try, and I must admit I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Now, in comparison to this, the 15-year-old, which is for us in Europe, the only one that has more percentage points. Usually they're 43%. This is 40%. Did I just lie? About 43%. So we have here 43%. We have here the 25-year-old, which is 43%. So here we have the 46%, that 3%, almost 10% more alcohol helps. This has a deep, rich, dark Oloroso. If you're drinking Glenfarclas, be prepared to embrace the batch variations. One batch, even the 1 year later or half a year later, can be totally different. Depends on the cask they're putting together, and there is a big, big variation there. Glenfarclas is not a small distillery, and yet they really embrace the concept of batches. Let's say that. So you could have a batch from 2000. I'm just going to name some. 2015. It was excellent. You tried the same 15-year-old from 2017. Didn't like it. 1 year later, 2018 or 19, you buy a different batch. It's fabulous again. It's not that it's going down. There's just ups and downs in the batch variations. Definitely to be had there. Much richer, much darker, much more of that Oloroso sherry. I assume that there's third and fourth fills here, basically only from sherry. I assume that there's first, second, and third fills here. There are some people who love that old flavor taste of fourth fill sherry butts. A little bit is going to be in here. You might actually like it. All right, so my question of the day was, what other bottlings do you know of from Glenfarclas that are not part of their standard range, their core range? Family cask, yes. We now have the private reserve, 2019, 2021, and 2022 for France. And as I mentioned, there's a Christmas edition every year for Germany. What other editions do you know that Glenfarclas has put out there? Thank you very much for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. See you soon. WhiskyJason over here tasting whiskey you've probably never ever seen before. Bye-bye.